Hey, how you doing, everybody? Video 401 here, and we have the same backdrop because they're actually going to work here. And I thought if I do a bunch of videos as they're building this community, it might turn out to be pretty interesting. Over time, you'll see this whole community being built up. So today's video is how do we pick the time and the price of the bottom of the market? That's everybody's question. Is this the bottom? When's the bottom coming? When are we going to see it? What price will it be? Well, that's a problem because every single time you pick, every price you pick will be too high. Do you think in the first week of the 1929 crisis, when the richest men in America went in and spent billions of dollars propping up the market, they had any idea what would happen in 1930? Of course not. They learned their lesson. They stopped doing it. What about 1987? What about the internet bubble? Do you think people thought that Microsoft would go from 80 all the way down to 18? Of course they didn't. They would have picked a price. Ooh, it'll drop 25%. Everything will be great. It'll happen in 4 or 5 months. It takes years. And the stocks drop way, way more than you think. So, what's the problem with even trying to pick the time and the price? Is that, let's say you picked Microsoft at 50. Well, when $50 comes and it drops to 48, you're going to say, oh my goodness, my wildly random number I picked with no evidence at all of what would happen in the first computer bust in the history of computers has gone below that. Oh my goodness, I might miss out. So I better jump in at 48. What would have happened is it would have gone to 18. You'd have probably bought more at 30. Ooh, it's way below my price. Price, time. Well, what would have happened if you had realized there's no way for you to know what the price will be, no way for you to know how long it will take, but what you're interested in doing is what I do, what smart people do, is look at what's going on around you. How do I know that today is not the bottom? Because the bottom isn't just as they're trying to figure out the $2 trillion rescue packages around the world. The bottom is not the day they have the most people dead in Italy. It's not that difficult to pick what's not the bottom. Okay? So what would have happened if you'd had the attitude of saying, okay, I'm going to wait and see what's going on? Well, when Microsoft was 50, you'd have said, gee, 600,000 job losses a month? Nah, I don't think I'll invest. What would have happened at 40? You said, no thanks. Now, here's the kicker. What would have happened when Microsoft was 18? You'd have said, hey, wait a minute. This was the greatest company in the history of companies going in to the bear market, but now this company kind of sucks. It has no mobile operation. It has lawsuits from every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the government, and it's $18. Maybe I'll go with Apple. Maybe I'll go with FANG. Maybe I'll go with the companies that now I have evidence to look at that look like they're going to do much better. So not only would you have not lost money by picking the wrong stock before you had any evidence whatsoever as to which stocks might be good, but you would not have bought it at all. Most people sold their 40, 50, and 60 Microsoft to go into other stocks because they realized that too late. So it's not just you can't pick the time at the top. It's this idea of you're going to pick the next 5 greatest stocks for the next bull market at the top of the bear market makes you an amateur schmuck. You cannot do it because you have no evidence. The best you can hope for is to be coincidentally correct, and good luck with that. Okay, so the one thing I'll mention really quick here is in the future, when you look at these YouTubers' returns, they're all fraudulent. They're all taking losses from other accounts, turning it to cash, so they have a 50% loss on their cash. They're putting it in their YouTube account. When it goes up 100%, it'll show that in their YouTube account. It's only getting back to zero in reality, and that applies to all the people that you know who I'm talking about. Now, what's the point here? The point here is, of course, you can't pick the time in the bottom. It's going to be much, much lower, much, much later in time than you think, and you don't know whether maybe they'll pass laws to allow the money transfer of marijuana stocks. Maybe Tilray, that was 120, is now a $3 stock, goes to 50 cents. They pass all these laws and it goes back up to 120. That'll be way better than what Tesla or your pick of the day will do. How do you know that the grocery stores run out of decent meat? Everybody's forced to try this P-Burger garbage, and it turns out to be great. And Beyond Meat becomes the next bull market stock. You have no way of knowing because you're not there yet. You have no evidence. If you want to be an anti-vaxxer, a flat earther, some kind of douchebag making prognostications with no evidence, go ahead, but you will be wrong and it will cost you money. So don't do it. Now, you guys know I made my little McDonald's spiel last time. I want to give you just a real quick reality check on dollar cost averaging with a little story. This guy named Jeremy and I met in a bar in New Zealand, and I come from Thailand, he comes from America, and it turns out we both shop at the same grocery store, and it's a really unusual grocery store. One day you go in, chicken is $2. Other days you go in, chicken is $10. It's really bizarre. So Jeremy and I got to talking, and you know, he says he's a stock market guy. I said, well, that's really interesting. That's cool. So am I. And then we got to talking about cooking. We both like Gordon Ramsay, some other cooking guys. And Jeremy says, hey, you know what? I buy my chicken by chicken cost averaging. I go in one day, it's $2. The other day I go in, it's $10. You know what? I get my chicken for $6. Isn't that amazing? I said, no, I'm sorry, that's not amazing. You pay 3 times more than me because you're a dumbass. Now, I hope that gets this whole idiotic nonsense dollar cost averaging point across. I know it doesn't. It's just a little funny joke. But that's the reality of what happens when you're really good at spending money and buying things, but you have no conception whatsoever about selling your $2 chicken for $10 to people like Jeremy. If all you know how to do is buy in a bull market, that's great. If you never know how to sell, you will not make good money in the stock market. These dollar cost averaging people have already lost 6 to 8 years of their money in bang, the blink of an eye. And it's going to get worse for them. All because they insult their own intelligence by saying they're too stupid to know the difference between a $10 stock and a $2 stock at different times when they go stock shopping. So they just buy. I'm too stupid to know Tesla from $280 to $900 is too expensive, so I'll just buy it at $7. Ooh, aren't I smart? No. You have to gain some self-confidence, gain some self-worth, and understand you are not a moron who should be buying the same amount of stock when regulations are lowered, you have a new business-friendly president. You shouldn't be buying the same amount of stock then as when the world is crumbling all around you. You are smart enough to do better. So the point of this video is to get you to understand, do not pick a time, do not pick a price, just wait for what's going on around you to change and accept whatever time, whatever price it is. But if you pick something too soon, when it starts to drop miles below that, you're going to want to rush in and buy for the same reason these people have been buying crap already for the last 2 months, is they're afraid to miss out on the next bull market before they even know what to buy. So anyway, thanks for watching my video. Please get people to subscribe if you can. Share it. Let people know this information. I'm not, doing this to toot my own horn or anything. I'm doing this to help people. Hopefully, you'll understand for the next bull market. Hopefully, you'll understand how to make money in this bear market, and it continues. It continues down. I continue to say that we'll have a bear market rally. If you want to sell puts, make sure you're ready to short them so you don't accept the stock. You do not want to own stock that gets put to you. If you want to play the bear market rally by buying stock, buying calls on the way up, that's fine. But be careful, because it can turn on a dime and you do not want to be holding the bag just as it drops and blows through whatever first bottom we create. Bull markets have 3 legs. They have the first rearranging your portfolio leg for smart people. Then you have a bear market rally. Then it goes down and you have a margin call rally for the slightly less than smart people with another little rally in there. And then you have the final leg that sort of trails off for a long time and just goes down slowly. We're nowhere near even the second leg. So the same thing applies. Chill out, sell well below the money puts, stack up the cash, and know every $100 you make is going to turn into 2 or 3 in buying power. That 2 or 3 will double or triple, turn into $600 or $800. Every $100 you make, if you listen to me, will turn into 800, and you're making money. Sell the puts, sell the covered calls, continue to do that. The market is going to slow eventually and take a bounce, but be careful, sell well below the money options. Don't get too greedy near the money, because you do not want to take the shares during the next 2 legs down. All right, good luck everybody, and like I said, I'll probably keep showing this little horizon as they build the houses. I'm sure you guys can see the stacks of concrete out there and stuff, right? They're bringing stuff, building stuff. They're doing it slowly, but it looks like they're gonna go ahead and start this development. Anyway, love y'all, thank you, and see you later. Good luck.